Welcome, Madridistas. How are you all doing? I'm freaking out about this, really freaking out, just like I'm sure many of you are too. We're also going to talk in this video about what Cucurella said, which was really good, the new Real Madrid player, the official signing of Konate, the situation with Olise and Enzo Fernández. Marca is saying that Madrid is going after both of them. I don't know how much we're going to spend, but anyway. Well, there's a lot going on today. But this thing about this guy, about David Sánchez, this kid from the Real Madrid Youth Academy, who is now dropping out. Not him, poor guy, his parents, man, his parents with a statement, but it's crazy, just crazy. We've lost our way here. I was going to say all of us, but no, not all of us. Unfortunately, just them, that family. But how can they allow this? Seriously. But how can they allow this? Of course, then the media picks it up, and we should consider that's part of another debate, whether we should even be spreading this. Well, in the world we live in now, if everyone's going to do it anyway, right? And it's a disgrace for football that we see these things happening during the formative stages. Beyond losing a kid who looks fantastic for Real Madrid in the coming years. But if in reality, those in charge of his formative years, mainly his parents and his family, do this, there's really not much you can do there, right? All right. Well, terrible. Come on, let's get started and give it our all. Now let's go with this. But first, one thing. Yesterday, well, the last video has a part that's a fun report interacting with fans here at the World Cup, and we're going to do more of that throughout the whole World Cup. Obviously, we can't do it all the time, okay? I'm in Dallas, so I mainly attend matches held here. Although I'm going to go to Houston to see the Portugal-Futequista match with a great experience, which is already being inside the stadium. In an awesome place, I shouldn't say it, but hey, I was invited and I'm thrilled about it. We're going to a Portugal match, a match featuring Cristiano next Tuesday. But well, Argentina is also coming here to Dallas. We're going to keep making the videos like the one I did with the English guys yesterday. We'll do it with Argentina and Mexico, even though I won't attend the Mexico match. But at the Dallas Fan Fest, many Mexicans gather and we'll keep enjoying it. Many people ask me, Miguel, for more videos like those, but I can't make them every day. We'll keep making videos like these since I'm at the World Cup, and besides my TV job, I have to be at a specific place every morning. We'll also do reports about the atmosphere, right? Well, let's go with some things from today. The newspaper Marca is saying that Madrid is going after Enzo Fernández, and I mentioned in the last video that it could be a matter of hours before this breaks out. It hasn't happened yet, but like I told you in the last video, not just a little bird, but a big bird told me. They said that that it's done. I mean, that Madrid has already reached an agreement with the player, but also the player has been saying this for months, and he was even sanctioned for it. By the way, that's something I didn't like, because no matter how much he talks about Real Madrid, how much he wants to be at Real Madrid and all that, tomorrow he could do the same thing to you. I mean, I don't like that he does that to his club, but well, he's also a young guy who still has time to grow, to mature, and to learn. Madrid must have reached an agreement with him about the offer and all that. I think it will be finalized in the next few hours. And I would be surprised if, in fact, something that has caused so much noise doesn't happen, or if Real Madrid doesn't try to make it happen. But of course, then they add that offer to a possible one for Olise, and you say, let's see, between the two, Madrid would have to spend 300 million euros. What kind of madness is this? And we've already spent 80 with some very good deals. And now we see, if we compare it, for example, with Barça, we can see the good transfer window Real Madrid is having so far. But of course, if you want players who make a difference, that's when you have to spend a fortune. Another thing, and for many years as well, is whether we really consider Enzo Fernández if Madrid really needs a midfielder, of course. But if we think about it, that's exactly what Real Madrid needs at that price. And at that price, let me know in the comments what you all think. The thing about Olise is beyond any doubt, he's an incredible player. I think we don't need anyone up front, and this opens up another debate. Because if he's signed, I think the message is that one of the forwards is surplus. Put whatever name you want, but one of the forwards is surplus. Recently in a video, I said it would be normal, not because of skill level, since Vinicius is decisive at Real Madrid. When he's in form, he's already proven he's the best. But for a contractual reason, it would make more sense for it to be Vinicius. Also, my good friend Stanislaw was telling me, but why does it have to be him? It's only for that reason, not because he needs to leave Madrid before anyone else. I think Binier will stay, but if you also sign Olise, it's because you have to make a big sale. Also, as you were saying in the comments, Miguel, yeah, sure, a lot of people are coming, perfect, wonderful, but man, when are the departures happening? Well, look, Ceballos' departure seems clear, Gonzalo's too, but they won't be enough. Big departures are needed so Madrid can bring in money. Because if you're going to make an outlay like this, well, the summer is long. Today, Ibrahima Konate was announced as the new Real Madrid player. Here we see him, something that had been known for a while, also because Florentino had already said it on the show during the election campaign on Iker Jimenez's show on Channel 4, and well, there he is, good old Ibrahima. And by the way, there was something that really bothered me and I hadn't noticed it before. And I think they must have already deleted it, but Mr. Amancio has picked up on this. Madrid announces Ibrahima Konate in Spanish and in English. And in the English part, I don't know how this slipped through that the translation was generated by artificial intelligence. And also, it's kind of weird. Anyway, I think that Madrid, look, we often say that they don't do much in terms of communication. The club needs a shake-up, that's all, guys. Guys, as the Argentinians would say, get your act together because, well, but anyway, this is just a detail. The key is we've signed one of Europe's top center-backs. He hasn't had a great year, but I believe Mourinho will play him and get the best out of him, as that's what Mourinho does with top players. And this is what I was referring to. Konate, Dumfries, Cucurella, and Bernardo Silva all together, 80 million. The same as Anthony Gordon at Barça, who wasn't one of England's best yesterday in that win against Croatia, not by a long shot. In fact, I think Rashford will have to leave Barça, right? If they choose one English player over another, I still think even Rashford brings more to the table than this Anthony Gordon, who might end up surprising us and turning out to be a great player. He's good, no doubt. We're not judging him on one match, but he did cost 80 million, just like Real Madrid's reinforcements. Madrid had a great transfer market. It's true that someone here is saying, hey, you're basically putting the same players in the same positions as last year. And look, we also have to accept this and admit that it's true. We have to say that it's true. But, well, what that really means is that maybe things haven't been done so well in recent years when it comes to signing policy, and now it's showing. They're correcting things now, because years ago they didn't sign Dan Fritz, they didn't sign Bernardo Silva, and they didn't take a series of actions. Now it does seem like, thanks to Mourinho's influence, and that's something that's welcomed, acknowledged, and greeted. Because I think that's what needs to be done, because you need immediate results. Well, Mourinho comes in and takes charge, and they listen to him. Let's listen to Cucurella, who was asked at the Spanish national team's training camp about the anger of some players. The FC Barcelona fan base, who were criticizing him for going to Real Madrid, and this is what good old Cucu had to say. Let me see if I have the volume here, all right? A ver si tengo el volumen aquí, venga. Okay.
In the end, you have to respect opinions. Everyone has their own opinion. I am very grateful for everything I experienced and everything I went through in Barcelona's youth academy. But in the end, like everything in life, they are just stages. And I thought this was the right move, the one I had to make in the end. When a team like Madrid comes to you, insists, tells you they want you, I think it's very hard to turn down. And I had no doubt that it was the right move and the one that both my family and I wanted to make. And we're very happy with the decision I've made.
There was actually a picture his wife posted the other day of herself as a little girl visiting Madrid, already a huge Madrid fan, which must have had some influence. This guy has always been a Barça fan, but his first youth academy was Español's. I don't know his exact feelings about Barça. I'm sure he cares. But now, as he says, he's joining Madrid. How are you going to say no? Especially because on the other side, you didn't even know if they were going to listen to you, if they were going to sign you, if they were even going to call you. And he said it the other day to Romero, the one from Gijon. He was great. Look, that's normal. That's it. If not, it's no big deal. Even so, they'll keep insulting him for whatever reason. Until a few days ago, he was the best left back in the world, or one of the best. And now, well, for Deep Narnia, he's useless, right? Anyway, and very expensive and all that, and all these things. All right, well, another thing about Victor Muñoz, because I mentioned him in the last video, man, I think Madrid will have reserved a clause for next year in 2027. That's what I was saying. But also, even Real Madrid reporters like Jose Felix Diaz, among others, are saying that Madrid has reserved that clause to get him back. But I was saying, hey, maybe 10 million or so from Alcalá, and a subscriber made me think, and I said, Miel, how did you not realize before continuing, and will you forgive me? How is it possible that Liverpool signs him for 40, which is 20 for payments to Osasuna, 20 for Real Nazi, and then Madrid only pays 10 to Liverpool? How does that make sense? Of course, logically, it doesn't. How are you going to claim 40 million now? And it turns out that the crime is going to be recovered by... Because if Madrid kept a clause, I'm convinced it would be for, well, I don't know, 33,000, 40 million, because if not, and I don't know if someone reserves it, let them set it aside. England, there are no clauses. There are no clauses. It's another thing if you add an addendum and in the contract. I don't know, but we would be losing a footballer who, and I said it in yesterday's video, went from the 3rd division to the World Cup in just 1 year. They see a lot of great things in him over there in the Premier League, and Barça wanted him too. Are we the only locals who don't see what's going on? Well, this kid, David Sánchez, it's surreal, absolutely surreal. They call him the Wonder Boy. Pay attention to the statement. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but pay attention to the statement, everything it says. It says the youth player from the White Academy who stood out in the Features League tournament. And we talked about him just recently, and well, we've seen footage of him. I mean, a kid who does some amazing things. We said in a video that I've only seen Messi do this when he played there at Newell's, not in Rosario, when he was little, right? Doing some incredible things. This kid is going to be amazing. He's only 12 years old, just 12. Well, he made a post on his Instagram account announcing his departure from Real Madrid, just like that. He says he's finishing his time at Real Madrid today. He came from Novella 3 years ago, leaving everything with his family. He never imagined all he experienced. He thanks everyone for giving him strength. At just 12, he seems both young and experienced. He'll really miss his friends and teammates and says they'll definitely see each other on the field again. You are wonderful people, you and your families, he says. Thanks to my coaches these last years. Yeah, thank you for taking care of me. I've learned a lot with you and so on. And hey, the darts. I want to dedicate this post to the people who didn't believe in me. With you, I've learned to play with clipped wings, and when a child speaks like that, obviously it's coming from their parents, but this resentment at such an early age, what are they teaching this boy, or how poorly taught are his parents? How do I know? How can you do this? And also leaving Real Madrid and still, I think I did well, he says. You've made me mentally strong, which will really help me achieve my dream of becoming a professional. Thank you. For years, I've said you're in Madrid's youth academy and moved to Getafe, so it's expected you were born and raised in Novella Recala, Getafe. He's now seeking happiness elsewhere, as he says. Now it's my turn for a stage of calm and happiness, doing what I like the most. Enjoying my game, my favorite sport, connecting with my teammates, and feeling that we are all valued. We are kids. For us, football is a very fun game, and we want to turn something into something professional, but later on. This boy was born on May 7, 2014, and well, here it shows you everything he has stood out for at Real Madrid and so on. Honestly, I mean, I don't understand anything. I don't understand how they have done it. What they must have had to deal with at Madrid, with the whole thing about the parents, about allowing this to happen, right? If in the end someone wants something, you can't stop them, but I would love it. No one from the club is ever going to tell me, but I wish someone would explain to me why. It's clear that the kid has enormous talent. What must he be like? I'm just imagining the comment like the kid, nothing or maybe something. But at 12 years old, you really can't judge anyone personally. How do they talk about the parents? How do they talk about the parents, right? Like, hey, look, kid, you should leave because, of course, you're only going to cause trouble here, right? How is it to sacrifice the game of a kid who was going for it, but for a star? But this is the problem, that kids like this, because of the bad influence of their parents or their family or the people around them, go from being a star to crashing down. I'm not sure it's the child's responsibility since he's just a kid. His personality is shaped by everything he sees, hears, and therefore imitates from his surroundings. And to me, this seems, well, something really out of this world, really out of this world. I mean, I was blown away. I mean, I've spent hours not being able to explain this. Anyway, well, that's it for now. Thanks, guys, for being there. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel. Please comment, share, and hype up the video. Hey, I'm also going to put in the description, as always, the show on Daystar Español, the TV channel where I'm working here during this World Cup here in Dallas. The show A Todo Gol will be there. The link is in the description. Check it out, please, to help increase the views there. Anyway, you'll see it on YouTube, which isn't this channel's main selling point. The advantage of this channel is that it's television that's seen all over the country, all over the United States, and all over the world. And well, so that you can also watch it in the easiest way, we're putting the link there on the YouTube channel so you can watch it. See you in the next one. Thanks for being there, guys. Bye.